Hey, ¿qué tal? Y bienvenidos de nuevo a Domina tu Mente. Soy Raúl y el día de hoy los dejaré un rato con el Dr. Joseph Murphy y en este clip toca temas bien interesantes, como lo que es nuestro cuerpo sutil o cuerpo cuatridimensional y dimensiones más elevadas. Nos da algunos testimonios y además nos habla sobre cómo ir al final de tu objetivo, justo como lo enseña Neville.
Speaking at a convention in Las Vegas a few years ago, a young doctor sat next to me, and he said in the Vietnam War, he had to bail out of a plane that was on fire, all alone, and minister to his wounds the best he could. He was not religious, but his sister had been sending him some pamphlets, and he had one in his pocket. And it was the Lord, the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So he said, well, there's nothing else for me to do, I might as well repeat this. Yeah, his brother appeared to him. He said, stay here for a half an hour. The medics will come and take care of you. But he said, my brother was dead for 1 year, but he was my brother. And the medics came in a half an hour, as he predicted. And I asked him, how did you know I was here? I asked them, rather, how did you know I was here? They said an officer appeared and told us exactly where you were and what to give to you. Then they gave him morphine and bound up his wounds and took him in a helicopter. His brother disappeared. Something mysterious about it? No. Your loved ones are all around you. People of higher dimensions than mine can come here, go into any other planet they want to. You can look at it this way if you want to. The man prayed for deliverance. The subconscious answers in its own way. That way is hidden from you. You cannot possibly determine how your prayer is answered. You can't do it. If you begin to think of how, when, where, through what source you are through, you can call that a dramatization of the subconscious. Or you can say the personality of a brother in the next dimension decides to precipitate himself and save his brother. The subjective self is all wise. It knows only the answer. Some years ago, I was talking to a friend on the telephone, and a sister of mine came in the door. It was in Beverly Hills, California. And I asked her, why didn't you tell me you were coming? I would have met you on the plane. She came to Lowestoft, Suffolk, England. She had on her habit and rosary beads. She was a nun. And I gave her a cup of coffee. We conducted a vigorous conversation for 6 or 7 minutes. She told me of the diagnosis of the doctor in Lowestoft, how she had passed on, and that she wanted to let me know. And then after finishing the coffee, and if I talk back and forth to you, that's a personality, isn't it? The whole personality was there. She answered all questions intelligently. And her body dissolved, and then subsequent investigation showed that exactly at that moment in Lowestoft she had passed on. You see, you have bodies to infinity. You have another body now. It's called a subtle body, a fourth dimensional body.
Is that
Some people have weird ideas about resurrection. When your loved one passes on, he or she, you should rejoice in the new birthday. Everybody who passes on, murderer, cutthroat, or holy man, there's absolute bliss when that person passes on. This other body, which you have now, it's called a subtle body, fourth dimensional body, but it's rarefied and attenuated. It can go through closed doors, through solid metal. It's wherever it thinks it is. There's no time or space to the next dimension. Time and space is here. If anyone teaches time and space theories, they're not in truth. They're back in the old orthodox idea. So there are dreams and visions of the night, which come to all of us at times. And you may see events before they happen. They're not foreordained. Nothing is predestined. There is no kismet, except I'm a crackpot. a professor in UCLA, University of California, a brilliant woman, academically speaking, but you're not educated until you know the laws of your conscious and subconscious mind. Washington and London and other cities are full of educated fools and derelicts. They're doing incalculable harm. Your government and the government of my country. It's an exact mathematical duplication of the state of mind of 200 million people. You can't change the government until you change the minds of millions of people. And then as we change our mind, we change everything in the world. Now, here's an attorney who has a prolonged lawsuit. The other people are intransigent, hard yielding, they're inflexible, very frustrating. And then you learn the laws of mind. In prayer, you always go to the end. And having seen the end, you have willed the means to the realization of the end. Look at it this way. You go into a movie. The man is going to be sent to the guillotine. It's all circumstantial evidence. He's really not guilty. They're all weeping and crying. At the last minute, he gets a reprieve. And they're all rejoicing. That's the end. You paid 6 marks to see the movie.
Sorry?
You're going to wait for the beginning. You see the whole thing through. When it comes to the end, you're unmoved, undisturbed. You have seen the end, and the end is a happy ending. That's called prayer. You always go to the end. So I told this attorney to just still his mind, immobilize his attention, and to imagine that I was there. Mentally and spiritually, you are there. Your head is on the pillow and your eyes are closed and you can see me right in front of you. That's the quickest, surest, most wonderful way in all the world to get an answer to your prayer. Select one person in the world who'd love to hear good news about you. It isn't always a relative. Tell them nothing. But you always have one. If you don't, you're in trouble. You must have one person in the world who'd love to hear good news about you. So all he did was hear me say to him, congratulations and the harmonious ending. And he stopped giving any power to anybody else. The person who was most difficult, who's obstreperous, you couldn't talk to her. You know, she's unmoved. She died in her sleep. And then he said to me, he didn't know very much about the law. He said, I didn't want you to kill her. The law works its own way, and always you contemplate the happy ending, the divine solution. That's right.